Hello, hello. Welcome, friends. Welcome, welcome, and a very special welcome today to our brand new author, Jane Janzen. Hi, Jane.
Hello, Miriam. I'm delighted to be here.
Well, I'm so glad you are. We are celebrating your book launch today. Please tell everybody the title of your book.
Peppy's Pal Party.
How fun. What a fun book. Jane, what inspired you to write this book?
Well, I'm going to go back just a little bit. For about 50 years, I have dreamt of writing a children's picture book. And at that time, there was no internet, so I was searching publishing indexes to find
Mhm.
a publisher who would like the story I had written. And those books were like 3 and 4 inches thick, and you had to do a lot of research. So I actually sent manuscripts to a couple publishers, and they all came back, not needed, not wanted. And today I can look back and see how poorly they were done. But last year I saw a promotion for Miriam Laundry Publishing, and so I got interested in that. And I decided if I was going to accomplish this goal in my lifetime, I better get going because time was getting shorter. So I enrolled in the course, actually in several courses, and sent off my first manuscript to MLP to have it edited, and it was on my 80th birthday.
Oh, nice.
So, so I'll always remember that. But as far as this particular book about Peppy, I've always been told to write about what you know, which is living on a farm. But one day we were at a farm store and I saw a number of uh, dogs riding in the pickup beds in the back of the pickups. And it just hit me that that was probably a story that hadn't been told about how dogs ride in the back of pickups. So that started me on this path. And then I learned that having the main character be something that someone or thing that the child was really would be interested in. I started thinking about my first pet, who was a dog and a white dog named Peppy. But this book is not about that Peppy. Uh, I borrowed my pet's name and his color, but this isn't the same Peppy. This Peppy moved to a farm where there's only a goldfish and his boy. And Peppy really wants to meet other farm animals. So while he's visiting neighboring farms, he does meet other animals, but sometimes he gets into trouble. For example, when he chases baby calves, he learns that mama cows will chase him to protect their babies. And at other farms, his fur changes color. You can imagine what happens when Peppy joins the pigs in a mud puddle. And there's also a sub-theme to this book. Each farm that he visits has a different color pickup truck. And at the end of the book, there is a pickup truck color wheel. So
Mhm.
that's the way it goes. And it's written for children ages 4 to 8. And while I was writing it, I was envisioning some of the young farm children that I know, and I'm hoping that they will really see the humor in the book. But I also
Yes.
wanted to for non-farm children to learn about farms, to learn about common farm animals and some of their traits, but also to laugh too.
Yes. Jane, you wrote a beautiful book. And yes, you say it's for children 4 to 8. But even before the call started, I said to you, I cannot wait to read this book, to sit down with my grandbaby, who's only 2. She's about to turn 2, because I
Yeah.
know she'll enjoy looking at all the animals, pointing at all the animals, looking at all the colors. It's just such a nice, wholesome book. So, of course, Peppy goes on his little adventure, and it captivates all the readers. So, congratulations on this book. And thank
Thank
you for sharing that this has been a dream for you for 50 years. And you took action, you made it happen this past year. We're so glad that you did. What is it that you hope that parents and kids will take away from this book?
Well, I think there's several things. The common farm animals and some of the traits of those animals, to learn basic colors and to learn it's fun to live on a farm.
Yes, yes, it is. Well, I want to pause just a moment and tell all of our viewers that this wonderful book, Peppy's Pal Party, is available today on Amazon. Such a cute name. Peppy's Pal Party is available on Amazon today. So make sure to go grab a copy of this book, share it with the kids in your life. You're going to have fun sitting down with them, reading the book, sharing what farm life is like, the animals, everything, and all of the nice messages in the book. So the book is available as a soft cover. Paperback cover, hardcover, and ebook format. So make sure to go to Amazon today. So, Jane, I want to ask you a little bit more about your journey into becoming a children's book author. We know that it always comes with lessons and challenges. What would you say was the biggest challenge for you when writing this book?
For me, it was working with technology. Because remember, I
Mm,
said I started writing or started searching, researching in paper indexes and trying to figure out how to do this. And I had no one to talk to. Uh, I was just going through these huge books, trying to figure this out on my own. And then once I started, well, I've always like I worked in a library, and so excuse me, we talked about being a digital immigrant or a digital native. And I am definitely an immigrant. I had to learn how to do computer and technology work, whereas kids born today, it's just there. They just do it.
yes.
So, excuse me, when I
Hmm.
first started, I knew how to do Word, I knew how to do email. But once I got into this, especially working with the illustrators, I had to learn a lot of different programs and words, mainly what they were talking about. Dropbox, how to set up an account on Amazon,
Right.
and direct publishing and all these sort of things. And thankfully, the people at MLP were very helpful and kind, uh, showed me how to do things and even calmed my stress during some days when I just couldn't figure it out. But people these days wouldn't have that problem.
Yeah. Well, it must feel even sweeter for you that you were able to accomplish this dream with all of those challenges, right? You've learned so much in the process. I'm so glad that you had an open mind to learn about it. And here you are, right, with your children's book published. Let's talk about lessons. What was the biggest lesson that you learned during the publishing process?
Well, writing is really fun, but it's wonderful to have an editor who
Mhm.
will uh, make the words professional, make the grammar professional, put a good touch on it. But at the same time, when writing is fun, you have to be open to letting someone help you and to make a change, because when you write those words, somehow you kind of fall in love with them and you think, nobody can change these. They're mine. But
Right.
when they are changed, they're better, especially by these
Yes.
professionals. So I love that.
Yes, I love that you shared that. We all get very attached to our writing and to our sentences, and this has to be in there. But again, it's good to be open to a professional's um, not opinion, but a professional's eyes looking at the story and
Right.
making their suggestions of how or what could make it even better. So I'm so glad you shared that. I know other aspiring authors listening to this may be thinking about the same thing. So, because we all struggle with that. Jane, here you are, 50 years later, we're celebrating your book launch day. What is the best part of accomplishing this dream for you?
Well, It is very exciting to see my name on the cover after the words written by. And by the way, there
Yes.
it will say written by Janie Janzen because that's my legal name. But as a former librarian, I got really excited to have my own ISBN number.
Oh.
That won't be true for everyone, but to know that that number is my work. I did that. But I really could hardly wait to read this to my children and or to have my children read it and to read it to my grandchildren and to um, have my friends see it and to know that I have left my family a legacy.
Mm. How beautiful. Jane, that's so beautiful to leave your legacy, to leave a legacy for your children, for your grandchildren, and that this book will go on and it can be shared for generations to come. How beautiful, how beautiful.
Thank you.
Well, I'm so proud of you. You have published a beautiful book, a beautiful story. The illustrations are captivating. Let's give a little shout out to your illustrator. What was it
Oh,
like? Yes, tell me their name.
well, I actually have two illustrators. They're twin sisters,
Mm.
uh, Annalisa and Mariana Durante, and they were wonderful to work with. They uh, worked back and forth with me, asked me questions, accepted ideas, sometimes said, no, this is the way we want to do it. And I said, let's do it. And so we had a very good relationship, and I loved their illustrations. They were so
Mm.
good.
Yes, I agree. They brought the story to life. Beautiful illustrations, beautiful book. So now here you are on the other side, a published children's author. We know that there's a lot of aspiring authors that watch our interviews. What piece of advice, Jane, would you give to an aspiring author right now?
Well, I think it's very important to know your target audience, to actually know
Mhm.
those children. Are they preschool? Are they preteen? Whatever. And then along with that, kind of alluding to what I said before, um, be willing to change. Uh, you might love your first words, but they'd probably need some polish.
Mhm. Yes. Okay. Thank you so much for that. Great advice. So, friends, remember, go to Amazon, grab a copy, grab several copies of this book, and share it with the children in your life. So, besides going to Amazon, Jane, where can our viewers find you?
I do have a Facebook page under Jane Jansen, and I have an Instagram account or place under at Janie Jansen underscore author.
Perfect. Perfect. So, friends, go find Jane there, Janie, as is her legal name and her author name. Go find her there. So, Jane, before we go, is there anything else you'd like to add or anything that you wish I would have asked you?
Well, I was thinking of this journey, and I would just say, if you are one of those people who has dreamed of writing a book, stop dreaming and go work.
Yes, friends, I love that. Stop dreaming and go work. Jane, I'm so proud of you. Thank you for writing such a beautiful book and leaving such a beautiful legacy for your children. Thank you, friends. Thank you, everybody, for being here. We'll talk soon. Bye, Jane.
Bye, Miriam. Thank you.
Bye. You're welcome. Thank you for being